The Ford Mustang is the only pony car that's never been threatened with the glue factory.
Debuted on April 17, 1964, the grand total more than 9 million to date.
That debut was at the 1964 World's Fair. The Mustang was championed by Lee Iacocca, the man who would decades later go on to run and rescue the Chrysler Corporation during the Reagan administration.
A lot of people look at Lee Iacocca as being the father of the Mustang, and I think it's fair to say that he was probably as responsible as anyone for bringing the Mustang to market.
Bill Collins is a spokesperson for the Ford Motor Company.
I mean, he was obviously the most visible executive connected with the Mustang. He was on the cover of Time, he was on the cover of Newsweek, and he was an advocate for the car for many, many years before it was brought to market. So even though it was a huge team effort and there were a lot of people involved in creating and in marketing this car, I think it's fair to say that Lee Iacocca is the father of the Mustang.
Since its introduction as a 1964 and a half model, the Mustang was a hit. It even invented an entire segment.
It is an icon, and not just for what it was, which was the original pony car, but what it is today. I mean, it's one of these great automotive cars that's really just as strong now as it has ever been.
Yes, but over the years, the Mustang has undergone more facelifts than Joan Rivers. In the decades since its birth, it's gained weight, lost weight, experimented with some strange fashions in the 80s, but then again, didn't we all remember parachute pants, mullets, and shoulder pads? Through the 90s, the Mustang kept selling. After the new millennium, the Mustang entered middle age with grace. There was no paunch or comb-over. Some of us wish we could say the same thing. Now, at the age of 47, the 2011 Mustang is probably better than ever.
It combines two things that a lot of people thought were mutually exclusive at one time, which are fuel economy and performance. And the V6 that you drove gets great fuel economy, over 30 miles per gallon highway, and over 300 horsepower. So you're getting the best of both worlds, which, you know, for years and years were thought to be mutually exclusive, not anymore.
The hardtop combines classic looks with modern flair and technology, sort of like a second-generation movie star. The headroom on this 2011 Mustang is really good. I'm 6'1", I have no problems finding a comfortable seating position. One thing you should be aware of, though, when you're buying a hardtop, if you're like me and you like to get a sunroof, sit in one of the models with the sunroof before you decide, because it does usually affect the headroom. While our test vehicle was not equipped with the available blind spot radar system, it did have little convex mirrors on both wing mirrors. It seemed to help a bit, but the hardtop didn't really have a major blind spot problem to begin with, which is a major accomplishment. And
that's something that we worked on. You know, past Mustangs, especially convertibles, you know, visibility was something that I think the consumers felt that they wanted improved.
Something else that was nice about the Mustang is that there was only one stalk coming off the steering column, instead of that octopus style so popular today. I don't know about you, but often I just want to find the blinker and the high beams.
With all the complexity in the car and all the functionality in the car, which is great, people want it, but to operate the car, you know, you want to make it simple for people.
In the 60s, the base Mustang was sometimes called the secretary's car because of its affordable price. The Mustang could also be optioned from secretary to CEO pretty quickly. The same is true today. The 2011 Mustang is also available as a traditional ragtop. That means a power top with plenty of trunk space, because cloth tops take up less space than hardtop convertibles. There was also no noticeable cowling or body flex in the convertible, which is a major accomplishment for a convertible in this price range. It manages to feel retro without feeling dated.
What could be more American than being in a Mustang convertible and going to a drive-thru? In this case, it's Sonic Burger, where apparently sort of a modern take on a drive-in restaurant. So they actually have a car hop.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. I have your cherry limeade.
That's for you.
I have one Diet Coke.
That's for me.
Now, one thing that everyone noticed in both the hardtop and the ragtop was how comfortable the seats were. In addition, for some reason, a few passengers got in and immediately asked me if it was a rear-drive car. I'm not really sure how the passenger can feel it, but the Mustang does still have a smoke 'em if you got 'em mentality. Witness these pics of Mustang launches and note that these came from the Ford press site, not some tuner blog. One thing I would tell anyone buying a convertible, make sure to get heated seats. They're a common and relatively inexpensive option, and they can make a big difference in a convertible, especially if you're like me and you just like to put the top down as often as you can, even if it's kind of chilly outside. There's that saying that you can't be all things to all people, but depending upon which boxes you tick at the dealer, the Mustang comes pretty close.
If you look at the Mustang from sort of bottom to top, I mean, it starts out in the low 20s, which makes it very accessible and affordable to a wide range of customers. And then if you want to chase performance, you can get a GT500, which retails in the high 40s.
The only option I couldn't find on the Mustang, and probably never will, is all-wheel drive. The V6 Coupe we tested started at a little under $26,000, and with a bunch of options including navigation, the electronics package, and a backup camera, which is really handy even in a coupe, was a little under $33,000. The advanced electronics on this new Mustang include something called 911 Assist.
911 Assist is basically a feature that will call 911. They'll call the emergency operator if you're in an accident and the airbags are deployed.
That means 911 Assist will work even if you're too hurt to pick up your phone or if it's tucked away in your briefcase or purse at the time of the crash. The coupe got 19 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. The V6 convertible started at a little under $31,000, and with a bunch of options including a backup camera, it came out to be about $33 grand. That means you can have a hot car without putting a chill down your accountant's spine. I'm Grant Winter, reporting.